Morning. Keith at Crypto Bullseye, and we're going to be talking about Dogecoin this morning. You can see that the bubbles are red. Why is that? It's because it's FOMC day. That creates uncertainty. We need to see what kind of direction that the market's going to move. And before we get that, we need to get an indication from Mr. Powell exactly what's going to happen in July. We're expecting no rate cuts. What's going to happen going into September? We've got a 66% chance of a rate cut. So are we going to get a dovish stance going into September, or are we going to get a surprise rate cut? Either way, guys, the market has already built in negative price action. If we look on the week, we've had a pullback. If you look on the day, we've had a pullback. And we're going to talk about this little fella here, Dogecoin. So the reason why I like Dogecoin is because of this big breakout here. We've had a big breakout, and not only that, we've put in a new high, taken out that lower high, put in a higher high, and we're holding a key level. So we're going to look at a couple of indicators. One indicator is the big daddy, 200 moving average. Where are we sitting on that? The other indicator is volume, guys. Volume. Are we above the biggest area of traded volume? If so, it means that that barrier, the resistance barrier, is easier to overcome because there's less sell orders. Why is there less sell orders? Because the bulls have got more conviction. So it is a game of patience, guys. We'll see what's happening on FOMC, but Dogecoin looks nice to me, and I'm going to show you exactly why. And the reason why I like Dogecoin, guys, is because of this big breakout. Remember 2024, December 2024, that was the fake rally. That's where all the altcoins put in highs. And that's where I've measured it from 2024. That's the swing. And then I'm taking it all the way back down to this low. That's indicating that the 38.2% retracement sat at 26 cents should be a rejection point. Now, if we just zoom in, there's a bit different story that we could be told here, because one thing's happened. We've taken out this previous lower high, and we've had a candle close which taken out the previous extreme high, and that invalidates a double top. If we got a double top, that would be a bearish pattern. You'd expect a rejection. We put in a new high, we're pulling back, and we're holding a higher low at the moment. So what we're going to do in the short term is stick a fib from the bottom here to the top here, and you can see that we're dropping the 38.2. So the next area is going to be the 61.8, and that's 0.19663. Now, the one thing that I want to do is bring up the big daddy, because we've got this guy to fall back on, the 200 daily moving average. This is the green line. So remember, when you're above the 200 daily moving average, that's bullish, guys. When you're below the 200 daily moving average, that is bearish. And if we look at Dogecoin compared to SHIB, for an example, you can see SHIB's below the 200 moving average. It's rejecting, and that is a resistance barrier. Whereas Dogecoin, this is a support barrier. So we've got support on Dogecoin, we're above, we're below on SHIB. This is why this one looks better. So this is going to create one thing. This is going to create a range for buy zones. None of it's financial advice, guys. This is just what I would be doing. So you've got your 61.8% retracement. That's your golden zone. There's your first area. And you've got your 200 period moving average. That's the big daddy. That's your second area. That creates a range of 0.213 top end, 0.1974 at the bottom end. What it also allows is, if you drop below this, that means that you're wrong, and you want to be wrong when you are wrong with a limited amount of capital, so that understands where your wiggle room is. I'm expecting this to hold, guys. It looks strong. Like I say, we've got FOMC, we've got indecision in the markets, and these things that are holding support are the things that are going to run first. So what we're going to do now is look at the volume. This is the final thing we're going to do, is look at the volume before we go in projections. So the volume, why do we look at volume? I'm going to stick up the fixed range volume profile. I'm going to go from this high here, and we're going to see what the biggest area of traded volume is for the whole of this range. And you can see this is going to be a resistance barrier all the way up here at 38, just under 39 cents. So where price action is now, up to that 39 cents, you have got 71% move to the upside. Right, let's get rid of this, and let's do it from the bigger range now. Bigger range, and find out exactly where we are from the previous bull run of 2021. So exactly the same thing, taking the fixed range volume profile all the way up here, including the bear market low, to where price action is now. This is the biggest area of traded volume. We're well above there. Second biggest area of traded volume here. Third, we're above. It's getting reduced. These are your resistance barriers. And when you look at what price action does as you start moving up here, you can see why the resistance gets less and it gets less, because we didn't have much time in this area here. That was a parabolic phase that only lasted a few weeks. Because that only lasted a few weeks, you didn't get any of this build up of price action, which would act as support or resistance, depending on whether price was above or below. So you expect limited volume. And what I'm trying to get at, guys, is as we start moving our way up, you have got these resistance levels and you have got these resistance levels. But when you look at these resistance levels, compared to these ones, they're going to be a lot easier to break through as you start getting conviction and moving forward within the alt season. So that is looking good for me. Out of all the cryptos that I've looked at this morning, so far, this is the one that's caught my eye, guys. Let me know in the comments if you found it useful. Let's talk about projections, actually, because we didn't do that, did we? So we talked about the 618. That's going to be the big one. The 618 is 34 cents. Then if we are looking for extensions of this move here, what we're going to do is we're going to bring a fib retracement. In fact, we've got a fib retracement on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click our fib, and then we're going to look for extensions this time. We're going to look for the 1618. We're going to look for the 1272. We're going to pull those up. We're going to see where that leaves us. So you've got your 1272, which is sat all the way at 58 cents. You've got your 78.6% retracement from the big swing from 2021. So this is going to create a sell barrier. That's going to create your first sell barrier when you get an extension of this. The first sell barrier is going to be 59 or 57 to 59, just under 60 to the top. The 1618 all the way up here. Look at that, guys. Psychological round number, 70 cents. So you've got your 1618 all the way up here at 70 cents. So those are the resistance barriers in the short term, guys. We are holding support. I am expecting a further move to the upside. We have got indecision in the market. People are feeling a bit crap today, but unfortunately, we need to get the news out the way, see what Mr. Powell says, and see what the sentiment's going to look like going forward into the next month and a half, 2 months. Let me know in the comments what you want me to cover next, guys, and help me get to 10,000 subscribers. If we can get to 10,000 subscribers today, I'll be a happy man. But each and every single one of you that does subscribe to the channel, each and every single one of you that do believe in my analysis, that do find my analysis useful, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much, guys, because there's a few of us now. Might be small fry as far as the channel's concerned, but I'm proud of each and every single one of you. 9,959 subscribers. Let's make it 10,000 by the end of the day, and I'll see you in the next one.